Prop, it's boy Cassius Cuvée, man.
With Cassius Cuvée.
Jumping right into it, we're gonna let the beat play.
Bet you didn't know that I
we
can
get
rap
warmed up here.
Even faster than I can trade.
Join the market site.
Let go. I love the adrenaline trades. I'm winning, and my indicators say when to start and the finish. And swing trade more on point than a pendulum live stream every day. 100K minimum. Come along for the ride. I'll be giving you the guide while my brother on my side. Green candles on the rise. Yeah, the time has arrived. Trade $1 million live. Better yet, make it 5. I hit the green dot and take off like a slingshot. In the background, you can hear them a beat side. Cash came through with a brand new heat rock. Every single time, more shine than a peacock. Bitcoin pop now. It's headed for the treetop. If you think not, then you living in a dream.
Shout out to everybody who came early in the chat. What's up, Andrew? Man, Doug.
Now with a peer low. Check my channel. I'm a Discord hero. Ice cold veins with a massive zero. At a milli, I'ma take it off on my beard show, huh? I got it locked, but some want to take my key and try to trade like me with a fake ID, but they can't quite be because I'm crypto face, no KYC.
If you want to get paid, then you got to win trade sale.
Join the market
Cipher. For those who are new, Market Cipher is the indicator that we use. A lot of us who have Market Cipher use to determine if they're going to enter or exit trades. So I made this song, I'm a man crypto face on it. Market Cipher is his company. I'm going to show you guys what Market Cipher is here. Market Cipher B down here.
When I seen Bitcoin hit an all-time high.
When the bullets in the prime
and it really is sublime. Every ticker gonna climb and you finna get a dime. When I'm winning all the time, then the women wanna die. And I got bitches on my line, but there's digits on my mind. I'm hung up with only one indicator. Gotta dodge the imitators. It's really not great. I'm inadvertently gotta intimidate a hater. If you grow on me to data,
so it shows these diamonds and stuff like that. There's actually more to it. I do something. They got blood diamonds going, there's triangles and that kind of stuff.
Glued to the chart, got a P and a
Yellow
diaper.
X's.
Only look away when I step into the booth
Market
and it's
Cipher A, Market Cipher B is everything you see down here.
Then you gotta win trade sale.
Join the market cipher.
If you want to get
green
games,
and
you gotta
purple,
get trained so.
Join the market cipher.
You don't want to lose
This
cash.
purple and green are
Join the
RSI.
market cipher.
If you want to
Calibrated
DJ on
differently.
more than weekend,
When they're over on top of each other like this, like something, a move's usually about to be made. Only on the 10-minute wave though. The red is the green, is the money line. Turns green when it crosses above the 0. And this yellow is the VWAP. And last but not least, my favorite is the momentum waves. And anybody been following me for a while knows by now, the momentum waves is where I like to begin and end my trades. So shout out to everybody who's popping in today. We got big things popping like we do every day. Crypto's 24/7 and your boy Cassius Cuvée is right there with you. Everybody in the private Discord, big shout out to yourself. You guys know that I'm in there every day as soon as I wake up in the morning to right before I go to bed, dropping game alpha, giving you guys what I'm seeing on the charts and just any opportunities. We also, it's a community, so people who have other ideas and their setups and plays, they post them in there as well. It's free right now to join the private Discord. All you got to do is use my Phemex affiliate link. Basically, I'm a Phemex affiliate partner. And normally my Discord's $99 a month, but if you join the Phemex, platform with my referral link, then you will get free entry into the Discord. And that code is up there on the screen, but all you got to do is join the Discord. The Discord link is in the description of this video and basically all my videos. But without further ado, we're going to get right into it. He's smelling another pullback tonight. I feel you, Andrew. I feel you. We're going to get into it. First, I got to just say, get all of the legalities out of the way. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This is what I'm doing. I'm going to show you guys the tips and the techniques that I use to trade and win trades. And, you got to develop your own strategy, though. Okay, so this is not, I'm not telling you when to buy and when to sell. I'm just telling you guys what I'm seeing and what I'm looking at and how I analyze the market. Also, I have affiliate. I already mentioned Phemex. I'm also an affiliate with Breakout Prop. Got to tell you guys that. The good thing, though, is you're here with the right guy. You get a discount if you use my affiliate link or affiliate code every time you purchase an evaluation with Breakout Prop. So anyways, we got all that stuff out the way. And man, did we not get some volatility? Let me pull up Breakout Prop real quick. Here's Breakout Prop. All right. This is Bitcoin. This is virtual. We're going to get to this in a second. But this was at 10 in the morning. It looked like it was open. Here's the market. When I say open, I mean the stock market. The U.S. stock market opened around this time. That's when a lot of volatility happens, even in crypto. Price propped up, middle of the day, came back down. Now, maybe that's because Jay Powell was speaking. I don't know, but just dropped all the way down and came back up. I'm watching it on TradingView, which is, here's the momentum waves. And this is Ondo. We're going to talk about Ondo because Andrew said he's in an Ondo short, so I pulled it up here. But we're gonna put on Bitcoin real quick. Lot of volatility, midday volatility, okay? So somebody made some money on that trade. Shorten it. I put it that way. Some people lost some money. But that's what it is. Two sides to make a market every day. I also have a few other things I want to go over today, and we'll touch back to them. But the thumbnail, the thumbnail, I used that AI picture of myself on there. It was kind of funny. First, when I generated it, I didn't, they just volunteered that stuff with the small people down there. I guess it's supposed to represent China. And basically, these tariff talks and everything like that is what's making these markets go crazy. And so it was kind of like perfect. Put up the headline. I was like, oh, you know what? I'll use this picture that AI generated. I've been playing around with AI, and it just generated that automatically. But don't get wrecked by tariff news. And I'm going to tell you how I'm navigating that, okay? I'm going to tell you how I navigate that. So we're going to go over that today. I'm also going to, I got to remind y'all to hit the like and subscribe button, please. If you're watching right now, we're going to get into some good alpha. I'm going to give you some detailed breakdown of how I analyze the charts. And I'm talking rubber meets the road. Like, there's a lot of people who talk in generalities when it comes to trading and shit. And I'm trying to tell you how to enter and exit a trade. You feel me? Like, that's really what I'm trying to do. But my number one thing is to make sure you don't get wrecked. That's my passion, is to make sure that people who are new or even experienced don't lose all their money. Because once you lose all your money out the game, right? Obviously, that's not what we want. So I'm really trying to not speak in generalities. I'm going to try to tell you exactly where I enter and exactly where I exit. And today we're going to talk about some scalping. And we are going to look at Breakout Prop, and I'm going to show you how I zoom in on the charts. Because right now with all this chop going on, the way you avoid getting wrecked by news events, per my thumbnail, is by scalping, by trading shorter-term time periods. And then the system that I have developed, the scalping system, has basically a built-in stop-loss mechanism, a built-in take profit as well. You're going to see, but the strategy makes it so that you don't have to hope and pray that something's going to turn around or bounce off support and resistance and all that stuff we love to talk about on the price charts, or when I say we, I mean technical analysts, people who do TA. They love to talk about everything on the price chart, but I often see them forget about what's going on down here in the oscillator. And to me, as I always say, this down here is 80% of the cake and up here is the frosting. You feel me? So let's see. We got 6 a.m. Doug. Your boy is cutting the BS. That's right. Smashing the trades. Smash that like button. Appreciate you, Doug. 6 a.m. Doug. And, I really mean it, though. Like, there's a difference between what people say likes to happen and what actually is actionable. That's the difference. You feel me? Uh-oh, my screen looks like it's going dead over here. Let's see. I hope you guys can still see me live. I got to refresh the YouTube studio. Also, we've got a poll. And in 24 hours, will Bitcoin price be higher or lower? And right now it's at 84K. Let's see exactly what it's at. It's at 84,200, we'll call it. So will Bitcoin price be higher or lower? Hop in the poll. Yesterday, I got my first super chat, so I'm experimenting with that. Shout out to my first super chat yesterday. We got to start doing some rewards. I said, today, I'll wrap at the end if I get 5 super chats. So give me those super chats, and then I'll bust the flow at the end, all right? But we're going to get right into how to enter and exit trades, man. And the other thing, this is what happened. I talked to my jeweler this morning. This is what made me say this. It was crazy how all the things that I wanted to talk about kind of align like naturally. My jeweler called me on the phone. I'm getting a stone put in my other necklace, and like, he said, so we talked about that for like 2 seconds. Then he wanted to ask me about the markets, and he said that he lost some money trying to short micro strategies. And I said, well, first he said he was short, and he didn't tell me he lost the money. I was like, oh, you probably made some money shorting that, but I guess he was late chasing it, and he was just on Robinhood, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell him, okay, well, you got to get on the Discord, get on, Robinhood ain't the business, you know what I'm saying? That's the amateur hour. We over here trying to trade like for real. So you got TradingView up. This is TradingView. For anybody new who's watching, TradingView is basically just like the standard charting company. Is like they got a monopoly or something on it where it's free just to start. This is where we do our technical analysis. For anybody new, TradingView, just look it up. Okay, you got to have TradingView. But also, he said he got wrecked because he was shorting right on the day with the tariffs. And that's when I was like, okay, let me address this for a minute. How do you trade around news cycles that we're in some unpredictable times, some choppy waters, We got to navigate this chop like a pirate. For me, the way I do it is I zoom in. I scalp. That's what I do, okay? So this is the 10-minute chart right here, all right? And we will look at Bitcoin when we did this crazy shit in the morning right here, right? that's basically what I wanted to talk about today is kind of get into nuts and bolts, and then we're going to look at it also on right here. This is Breakout Prop. Breakout Prop's the one where you for $800 they'll give you $100,000 to trade with, and there's rules and stipulations, but basically just go over it real quick so don't confuse anybody. For $800 you can purchase an evaluation. You do not get real $100,000 to trade with. There's paper trading during the evaluation. They want to make sure that you can make 10% before you lose 6%. That's the basic premise of the rules. Other than that, it's you don't want to lose. You can't lose more than 4% in a day. If you get to $10,000 before getting breached, meaning before going negative $6,000 or going negative $4,000 in a day, then you have a funded account where they give you $100,000 to trade with. Okay, all you spent was the $800 on the evaluation. There's no additional fees. That's it. That's all you ever spend is how much it costs for the evaluation. They have smaller amounts as well. My recommendation, not financial advice, but my recommendation is I always buy the $100,000 one, and I'll tell you why in a second here. And that's because then you don't have to use a little bit of it, and you can slowly bat singles and then get yourself funded that way instead of trying to go for the home run and using your whole bag at once and getting wrecked. Again, my passion is to stop you from getting wrecked, okay? So on Breakout Prop is where I like to scalp, and I'm going to show you why here in a second. And let's see, what the other thing I want to cover here real quick. Oh, yeah, just in general about the price charts. It works sometimes until it don't no more. That's why I never do price chart TA first. I do the oscillator down here, and then I go up to here. Support resistance will work until it don't no more. Yeah, basically, that's really what it is. Oh, and then just the Jasmy trade too. Shout out to everybody who told me to take profit in the Jasmy trade yesterday. Let me just go over that real quick. I took profit here at this green line and right here, and when this white line hit, I just want to draw it so we don't forget the spot. It went a little bit lower. That's fine. But as you see, stuff was starting to come up. And I got out because I saw a green dot coming on the, I think it hit flash. Maybe it disappeared, but it was on the momentum wave down here. I was like, we had a big move down, and I was well in the green. So shout out to everybody who was in the stream yesterday because it took profit on that trade. And as you can see, my original take profit, I just want to clarify this because in the Discord group, I explained this. Okay, that's right, Doug. We win in this one, baby. This took me days to. Usually I'm in and out of trades pretty quickly. I got in it too early on Saturday, but I didn't get stopped out. And finally, I got the waterfall that I had been expecting this whole time and talking about for days. I've been talking about it for days. I said it's coming. If it doesn't break above this line, it's coming back down, which it did. Now, originally, I said I knew it was aggressive target was this blue line. This light blue line was my target for take profit. If you notice, it never hit, and we're 24 hours later now, and it never hit. So, again, shout out to everybody in the group. This white line I added later, shortly after that. I said, okay, this is looking like support and resistance now, which it kind of is. I thought maybe it would come down here to the support, but my point is I had an exit strategy before I entered, and part of the exit strategy was I might take profit early if it looks like momentum is running out. And that is how I trade. I take what the market gives me. I cannot tell you what to do, but this is why I never give price predictions, because at the end of the day, you could get this close. Look how close I got. And then it might reverse. What if this never comes down and touches this blue line? I'll still be in this trade. I'd be up hundreds of dollars right now, and I'd just be like, come on, I think I can. And then it never, and what if it turns all the way back on you and you went all the way down like that and you don't hit the price tagger? So that's why I don't do that. I take what the market gives me. I see what Andrew's talking about. Don't forget to mention TradingView sale going on right now. 5 days left. This type of sale usually only happens in November. Okay, I didn't know about the sale. I will say this, though. I do have a referral link for TradingView as well in the description of this video. And the reason you want to use it, even though TradingView is free, you can when you first you just create a free account. You want to do it with the link I have, because then when you upgrade to purchase something like what the sale is, they'll give you $15 off. I will also get something back for commission as well for that. But that $15 will go towards when you go to upgrade. So if you do not have TradingView yet, you should use the link that I have because it'll give you $15 off. Anyway, but yes, TradingView is something you definitely want to have if you do not have it. So definitely go ahead and get that, even if you're just getting a free one for now. You want to get it because that's how we do all chart analysis, and it's like mandatory. Okay. So, anyways, I just wanted to call that out. I go by taking profit on what I'm seeing on things like this, and you see, look, we ended up getting a deep green dot. I got out a little bit early. That wasn't that much. No one's ever going to catch the bottom or the perfect top. The point is, I wanted to catch it before this move happened again. That's really that's the real reason why I said, look, I was right at the beginning of the stream yesterday. I took that profit because I'm like, look, if I don't get out here, look, I already round trip to here, here, and here, and as fast as that was shooting up when we were zoomed in at the time, I was zoomed all the way in yesterday, I could see that this was looking like, I seen this green candle right here, and it looked like it might be turning up. I kind of had done well this whole time through, and I was like, you start seeing some green dots coming down. I was like, give me my money. So I did well. To me, I did well. The fact that it never hit this blue line and it's still hovering here means we did well. That's a win for sure. Green is green, y'all. Green is green. We will always say that. Nobody ever went broke taking profits. All right. Plus, like we said also to Blockchain Cowboy, we're like, man, sick of looking at it. This trade been going for hell long. But I was right about it, though. And that was partially because I just know the shit coins, man. I know them. And relative to Bitcoin, everything else is going volatile. But here's the thing. Where do we go from here, right? Where do we go from here? Okay, right on. Andrew's contributing to the Discord. Now, real quick, you guys, if you just joined, you have not joined my private Discord, you're getting 1 year for free. It's normally $99 a month, but I'm giving 1 year for free if you use my Phemex referral code to create an account on Phemex, which doesn't cost you anything. Save yourself your money that you were going to give me and just put it in your Phemex account so you have some cash to trade with. And what happens is after you get a Phemex user ID code, there's a bot that automatically tracks it. If you use my ID code or invitation code to create a Phemex account, all you do is put that into, not the code, but you're going to put in your user ID number into Discord, and that's how you get Discord for free for 1 year. So anyways, that I got to get out the way because the Discord is popping, y'all. So you want to get in the Discord if you're not in there yet. All right, so anyways, I use the momentum waves to choose when I want to enter and exit trades. Now, what do we do from here, right? I'm not in any swing trades right now. Things are looking risky, and I kind of turned out to be right to stay away today. When you see a like this, or I'll show you on Breakout Prop, when you see this kind of move, like intraday, this is why I didn't enter any swing trades today. This is why when people say they're going long, and some people say they're going short, if you notice, not everybody was on the same side of the boat, and it's one of those things that everybody gets to be right until everybody gets to be wrong, okay? And that's how trading will do you. I stayed away. I even wrote that this morning in the Discord. I said sometimes the best trade is no trade at all, okay? Like I didn't make that one up. That's just a known one, right? So I stayed out of it. But if I were to trade, and this is kind of a little Cassius Cuvée niche, right? This is something I came up with. I didn't come up with scalping, but the thing I thought of first, but the thing I thought of myself was like, if I'm going to scalp, what do I want to scalp? And the number one thing you need to figure out first is, okay, what environment are we in? Well, we're in a sideways choppy environment. Okay, that's fine. Well, what do I want to scalp? If you were to look at this is Bitcoin, and this is a coin called Virtual. Just by looking at it, let's tell me in the chat. I got 6 a.m. and Doug and Andrew in there. Would you rather scalp Bitcoin on the left here or Virtual here? What do you think would give you more opportunity today? Spoiler alert, it's going to be Virtual, in my opinion. This is my strategy. I'm looking at the environment. Because what I'm going to do, by the way, what I have been kind of doing, but I'm going to do a little bit more because now we're in scalping season here, is I'm going to be going in the morning, going through all my tickers. I have a lot of tickers on here on TradingView that I go through and look at pretty much every day. All of them scroll all the way down. At least half of the ones on this. This is a very long list. There's a couple hundred tickers on here. But I got my favorite ones I look at, and then even extension now. And what I'm looking for is tickers that are good. Like, what are they showing me? Are they relatively bullish, first of all? Or are they relatively bearish? And that's relative to Bitcoin. And what does their price action look like? So I'm looking for price action like this. If you could see this zigzag, this is good shorting. This is the 1 minute chart, by the way. This is the 1 minute chart on Breakout Prop. So this is just, and on TradingView, you can see it here on TradingView. Let's pull up Virtual on TradingView. You're going to see, obviously you're going to see the same thing, but I'm going to put it on the 10-minute chart, and you'll get a better idea of what I'm going to be talking about here in 1 second, which is the momentum waves on Market Cipher B. So look at this. Look at this chop. You can make money in this chop. Going long here and shorting here, and going long here and shorting here, and going long here and shorting here, right? So, easier said than done. But what happens is you sit here and you play this all day, you're going to start to get a feel for it. I've been telling people, I said, look, do yourself a favor. Come to the 1 minute chart and just watch it for an hour straight. Watch it for an hour straight. What ends up happening is you start recognizing movements in the candles more than all of these indicators. Like people always talk about, oh, go do this and do that. I got all these indicators turned off, and these are just random stuff. Before you know it, You put all this stuff on, and look how cluttered your chart starts to look. I don't even have that much stuff on there. You get what I'm saying? What line is this supposed to bounce off? Man, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? There's too many damn lines. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to do is make trading simple. And the reason why I've don't get me wrong, I've studied all the other stuff. There's Bollinger Bands, there's VWAPs, there's moving averages, EMAs. There's all kind of stuff, man. It's Fibonacci's. There's all kind of stuff on the price chart. It never ends. You could always draw endless lines on the price chart. You could also draw endless patterns on the price chart and pictures and stuff. I'm focused on down here because this doesn't work sometimes. This works all the time in the sense that if this is going down on the 10 minutes, then price is going down. I mean, you guys can look at it right here and see, okay? So what I would do in virtuals is that I would wait. So first of all, you want to identify the larger trend, right? It's a little bit choppy here, but if that's okay, we can kind of zoom in. Green is, this is the 1 hour. I'll be going long here and short here and long here based upon that. And then I would zoom in on the 10 minute and I would be trading this thing in and out. So if I was here, right? Like, so what are we doing? We're looking at something like we're still chopping. We're looking like trying to find a bottom. It started getting tighter. But basically, I would be looking for a moment to go long. So I'm looking for this to be a green dot here. If not the 10 minute, this is what's going to happen is we know that the 5 minute is going to hit first, right? Always the lower time frames hit before the higher time frame. That's literally how it works every time. So the 1 minute will hit. Okay, we got a green dot on the 1 minute. What about the 3 minute? 3 minute hasn't hit. So I can't go long at least until the 3 minute and then the 5 minute have hit. And then I'm waiting to see if the 10 minute is going to hit or maybe I'll front run it a little bit. Okay. But like for all I know, price could keep going down. Now, you know, you could tell yourself there's some support and resistance. You can still draw a channel. Like I said, this is 20%. It ain't 0%, right? Market Cipher is kind of cool because it got these blue lines on the recent high and lows already here for you. I think you might have to turn it on in the settings. I don't think that was the default, but I like that a lot. It shows like a recent high and recent low. So you can see we're in somewhat of a trading range here. And, you know, so things could go lower. Things could go lower. But I would be waiting. I want to see it go. I want to see it start going up before I go long. I want to see that. And I got to tell you, I mean, it's boring. Most of the time you're sitting there waiting. But I'm waiting and I'm watching. I mean, this is the 1 minute chart on TradingView. Actually, I'll put it here. Not this one. This one here. This is the 1 minute chart on Breakout Prop. And this is the 3 minute right now on TradingView. Oh, let's see. Let's see. You telling me 100x long virtual now? Say no more. No, not 100x long. So in Breakout Prop, right, it's 100 grand. So that's not 100x long. So this money, I got 100 grand up here as my account, but I'm not even going to use the whole 100 grand. So that's the other thing. Your bankroll management, part of that is knowing how big of a position is good for the ticker that you're on. So what I'm going to do to try to help out my Discord is I'm going to identify what tickers are looking good to scalp today. And I'm going to say it's relative to like Bitcoin, but just relative to its own volatility. It gives you an opportunity to make some money getting in and out of this. Where if it's really, really flat, it's harder to make money in this chop. You want some good chop if you're going to try to make money. So we're looking at a ticker like this that gives you that volatility. Now, here's the key, okay? Where you enter, I know you messing around. Here's the key. When you enter, right, so I wish we could hurry up and enter, but again, we got to wait. But so let's say as soon as we think it's going long, I want to get to the part that protects your bankroll, and that's when to exit, okay? When you exit is when that dot comes back against you again. Definitely don't try to fight a 10-minute wave. If the 5 minute starts coming against you, you're going to have your finger on the trigger at some point and be like, okay, I might want to get out of here. Let's say we were going short. How about that? Let's say we caught the short right here. We're going short right now, right? We're already in this trade, right? We caught the top or wherever we are. We are in this trade going short right now. We're green, right? Things have been coming down. Where do I exit? I want to exit after I see the momentum slowing down. So like, you know, when we first got in and there was a green dot on the 1 minute, but I was like, that ain't good enough. The 1 minute is just not strong enough. It's too light of a wave. It's like a ripple in the ocean, right? We want a bigger wave than that. 3 minute, even the 3 minute is kind of a tough one, but you can see in recent times, things have been turning on the 3 minute dot. You don't see a bunch of 3 minute dots clustered up that much here, maybe a little bit, but 3 minute, I got to say, is a little bit tight. 5 minutes where I would start scratching my head. If you get a green dot in the 5 minute, any moment now, I might want to be taking profit, right, if I'm coming down. But if not, the trend's my friend. Trend's your friend till the end. So I'm riding this down. I'm going to keep on riding it. Like, why stop? If I was in this trade right now, green, I'm watching. But I'm not watching this or any lines on the chart. I'm watching this down here. when you're scalping too, because you're so zoomed in, you don't really have time for all the confluence in the world with all your charts. If you guys don't know, confluence means when you see multiple things that are aligning with your thesis. Like, okay, it's, you got momentum waves, you got the price chart, you got resistance support, and maybe some of these other things come into play, the other 20% on the frosting of the cake, right? So, sure, that comes into play then on confluence. It's just at first we're starting down here. You're looking at VWAPs, you're looking at the, maybe some of the other stuff on Market Cipher, B, money flow. I think the RSIs are underestimated too. I haven't made enough videos yet on my YouTube channel to explain Market Cipher, but I did make one on the RSIs. Now, okay, RSI stands for Relative Strength Index. And a quick side note, in my Discord this morning, there's a channel called just Crypto Basics. So anybody who's new, you can go in there, and matter of fact, I'll show you real quick. You can go in there and then and just see some definitions and stuff. I know we got some new folks. Oh, I know what happened. This is I got to get the Discord reconnected here because let's see. Because in there now, I've got the terminology. So for folks who are new, we got it broken down for you, kind of explain it to you. Where the heck is? I want to show you the Discord. Not this one. Let's see. Where's the Discord at? It's this one. Oh, I got to click off it and click back on it, maybe. All right. There we go. So in the Discord now, I've got a section called, where are we? Crypto Basics. So I put in there some definitions. So for anybody who's kind of new and doesn't know what we're talking about in the chat, Redman, what's popping, baby? I got a new section in the Discord just for Crypto Basics. For anybody who's brand new, all-time high, all-time low, these type of things. MCB, we're referring to Market Cipher B. That's down here on the oscillator. We got VWAPs. There's a little description. So RSI was what reminded me of that. Relative Strength Index. This says the generic term. I just had ChatGPT write up for me real quick. And it's right. It's not wrong, but I want to specify this because it's a little bit of a misnomer. People say overbought or oversold is what RSI means. That's not really what it is. It really is a relative strength index. And that is relative strength. It kind of means just momentum. It's not necessarily overbought because there's a high RSI. And that means it must be ready to sell. It doesn't mean that. You can have a high RSI and then price keeps going up. So I called that out in the video I made where it kind of explains that because this is a little bit of a misnomer, meaning the name, when people say overbought and oversold, that's not really true, to be honest with you. It just means that price has been going down when we say oversold. It doesn't mean that, because oversold logically makes you think, oh, that means it's time to buy. Not so fast. You know what I'm saying? But I like the RSIs in Market Cipher. Basically, one is calibrated for just like a more volatile movement than the other one. So when they're in line and they're like way up high like this, like it's kind of a matter of time. When they start pointing down, that's one of the indicators that I'm looking for a confluence. That's pointing down. Everything's pointing down. Momentum's pointing down. You definitely want to do that. All right. Appreciate that, Redman. Yeah, if you join in here, like and subscribe. Share with your friends. Oh, and one other thing, too, you guys. We're having a contest right now. It'd be remiss if I don't tell you about the contest, all right? This is an invite contest for the Discord. So anybody in the Discord, you can go in there and get your own invite link. My admin asked me again today. He's like, are you telling them about the contest? So this contest is going on for 1 week, and it ends on Sunday. Okay, it started last Sunday. It's ended on Sunday. Whoever invites the most people is going to win the prize, and the prize is you get an hour of one-on-one Zoom with me, and we're going to go over your strategies, your charts, whatever it is that you want to do in trading, any nuanced questions you have, whatever level of advance you are, because I have to go over a lot of basic stuff, obviously, when I do the live stream and stuff, because I don't know who is here. I'm trying to go over some of my more detailed strategies right now with the scalping strategy, but I definitely want to have an opportunity for the people who are advanced to really get into the crux of what they're trying to solve. Like rubber meets the road, how do I make money? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really why we're here. I love that about trading. It's pure. We're here for the same reason. We're all here. We're trying to make money, period. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm an artist. This ain't art. You know what I'm saying? like this ain't that exactly. You feel me? What's up, Yosef in the house? Right on. So anyways, the contest, though, yes, go into Discord. There's instructions in the announcement section, and we'll repost it again in the general, but it shows you how to, it's real easy. You go get your own Discord invite link, and then send that to your friends, family, social media, whoever you want to send it to. And then at the end of the week, whoever invites the most people is going to win the prize. So that's how that works. And then there's also just ongoing experience points. So the more you just participate and engage in the Discord, the more experience points you earn. And I'm going to probably have a prize for that at the end of the month or in the next month. At some point, I'm going to say whoever got the most experience points is going to get a prize then. I got some other surprises coming for you guys too. And I don't even want to say them all right now, but I definitely have some more surprises coming. So for starters, though, we just testing out the first contest yet is the invite link. Obviously, you guys are all in the group, so you know what you have to do. You got to use the Phemex link if they want to join for free, or they can pay $99 a month. That's up to them. So anyways, we're going to get back to the charts here real quick. We're looking at TradingView, and I'm still waiting for this to roll over. Does it look? It looks like it wants to roll over, right? Virtual. And also, I've got it right here too. I forgot. I got it on both screens. It looks like it wants to. It looks like it's trying to find a bottom. Right. This is the 1 minute chart. This is the 1 minute chart I have over here on Breakout Prop. Okay. Also, I got it on both right here. When I trade, honestly, I like to have both open. To be honest, I got my 1 minute chart up here for Breakout Prop, and I've got my TradingView below. So I'm watching it here, but I'm watching Market Cipher B. So we're getting a pretty deep wave here on the 5 minute. It hasn't hit yet. We're gonna keep watching this one today. We're not gonna bail early on this one. Let me move this Phemex thing out the way real quick. So right down here, can you see that? Right down here is where it is on the 1 minute chart, right? In order to make it move so you can move it up and down, you gotta, and this works on Phemex same way too. You gotta go like this one time, and then you can move the chart any direction you want. So look, we're trying to find a bottom here is what it looks like to me, fellas. So, the 1 minute is starting, the momentum look like starting to run out, right? So let's see, if we're back over here on TradingView, what I'm looking at is, I'm like, okay, I'm starting to see some movement, some green candles, I'm starting to reject. Okay, I'm not jumping out yet. 1 minute's coming up, but the more time's on your side sometimes, right? Looks like a bounce isn't coming. I agree, but not necessarily yet. Let's see. The 1 minute could roll over right here like this, and then you get one more down, right? So as time goes on, that 1 minute, you know what I'm saying? Look at it. Price is going down. This is why we're not. If we were shorting, we may got out early on shorting, but if we're going long, I'm not going long yet, and that's again I see, right? That's exactly why price just started to go lower. Now, if this turns out to be the scam wick, this might be the scam wick. I want a little more confirmation first, especially on a downward day like today, on a ticker like this. We still don't have a green dot on the 3 minute, you guys. It's just safer to not try to jump in too early. I promise you I'd rather be late than early. So what I'm going to say is that confluence is key, but what's your confluence? For me, my confluence is I need confluence on these dots, okay? I need that first. I need to see that we got a 3 minute dot green first, or else I might get wrecked. You know what I'm saying? What if that was just a little blip and all of a sudden it wants to just, that was just a stall out and all of a sudden it could still go like this. I mean, there's no reason. This is pointing straight down, okay? This, when you zoom in, here's the thing. We zoom in so much on this that it's hard to like, to us, I'm like, oh, this is sideways. This is want to slow down. But look, so far, look, it's still going down. You see what I'm saying? Look, it's still going down. Bounce hasn't happened yet. Maybe this will be the candle. You see what I'm saying? Wait. Patience is key. Worst case scenario, if you wait too long, you miss that one. That's the worst case scenario. I'd rather have you be late than early so you don't lose money, okay? We don't want to lose money. That's what we do. Look how this is still going down. You see what I'm saying? This ain't it yet. And this is why what I landed on, my strategy involves the 10-minute dot is the one I don't want to fight. I'd rather miss the trade than lose money. Absolutely right, Doug. So, but look, it's still going down. So if we were long, if we were short, remember I said if I had gotten in early, if I had gotten in at the beginning of this, we'd still be making money right now. Why? Because none of these dots told me to get out yet. So just like I'm not ready to go long, it's the same rules going long or short. The momentum hasn't stopped yet. What the hell do I need any lines up here for? I got this. This is all I need. I'm trying to make it simple, okay? This is Market Cipher B, and the momentum way is all you freaking need. Look at this. It's still going. You see what I'm saying? Depending on how much money is, that's a whole nother bag of money. If you look at it like this, from here to here is a whole nother move of money. That's another, I don't know what percentage. You know what I'm saying? That's another 15, 20% maybe. We've got how many moves? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moves. You might have made just another 15% on your money waiting. You know what I'm saying? If you were in the trade already, let's say. So, but for sure, even more so, we didn't enter yet. Right? Just a few minutes ago, we thought we were seeing a bounce coming soon. But did it happen? No. And how did I know it didn't happen? Because Market Cipher B. Because right here, Market Cipher B didn't happen yet. Down here, we sat there and watched it. Like, I wish I'd entered this so it seemed more real, but you guys are getting the idea. We could pretend we're in it, or right now it is real that I'm looking for an entry. I got to sit here and be patient for now, right? I am looking for it. If this does what I want to do, I will enter the trade long right now on the live stream. And that is my point. Just like for the actual thumbnail, when I say, what do you do, basically, this is what I do. I zoom in on this sideways volatility, and I wait. I don't really have to worry about news that much because I'm so zoomed in. I'm looking at 3-minute charts and 1-minute charts and shit like that. News, and here's the thing. If the news comes and it goes against you, let's say it's going to go long. Let's say news happens like right now, going to go long, right? It takes a couple minutes. Like, it doesn't happen. Things can seem like they move fast, but on a 1-minute chart, nothing is going like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, even a short squeeze, if I was sitting here watching, I would see it start flickering and shit. You get what I'm saying? It ain't going to, even this right here, let's look at this one right here. It went up a couple more minutes before it did the straight up one. You see what I'm saying? So the 10-minute or less, you're not going to get swacked in the face before you have a chance to move. That's really what I landed on after just 16 hours a day staring at these charts, all right? And then looking at the 1-minute chart on Breakout Prop. Now, you can do it on Phemex too. I don't want to say you can't. Same deal. If you want to zoom all the way in. This is Bitcoin. Reload. Come on. All right, well, let's reload from back here. But, yeah, it's doing this stair step down thing. You know what I'm saying? And the 10-minute wave is the one that anything higher than a 10-minute wave might blow up in your face. When you try to hold through a 10-minute wave, let's say in this case, if we were shorting, right? 10-minute green dot, you'd be like, oh, well, the 10-minute green dot came, but then the 12-minute green dot came, and then the 15-minute green dot came, and then all of a sudden, price is going heavy against you. You get what I'm saying? That's like, ouch. But the lower time frames, things happen so fast that even if you're wrong or whatever, like, you're not going to lose that much money. You're not going to give back that many gains. Because think about this. Let's say you entered up here somewhere, right? Actually, I'll show you on Breakout Prop. Let's say you entered, maybe you didn't catch the top, right? Let's be realistic, right? Maybe you didn't catch the top, but you caught down here or here probably. You know what I'm saying? You're making money. If this comes all the way back up to here, it sucks that you gave back so much, but at least you didn't lose. You know what I'm saying? You won the trade. Now, if you thought you were going to hold it, what if it came all the way back up, T, and that's where you get burned? So my system that I have, my strategy has a built-in when to get out. I would say when to take profit. Perhaps you're down if it only went a little bit or whatever, but you're never going to be down that much. And that is the whole point. Don't lose. If you just keep trading with the trend and cutting losses before things get bad, even if it means you got to jump back in, you avoid losing big lump sums of money. And eventually, you catch the big one. Like, this was a big one. Whoever was doing the scalping strategy today on this virtuals was making money today. They were making money. You know what I'm saying? They were hitting. Up, down, up, down, up, down. They were hitting, even if you didn't catch the perfect top. But I promise you, if you watch this all day, you will start getting better and better and better at catching the perfect top, because you'll be looking right at the candles as they moved. Right at the candles as they moved. You feel me? And we're still watching it, and it's still going down. And I still would have no reason to exit because I still don't have even a 3-minute dot. You see what I'm saying? Just trust Market Cipher B. Where's the dot? Why would I exit this trade if I was short? And also, why would I go long? Look how much since we thought it was leveling out, we thought it was leveling out right here. That turned out to not be true. Right? You could see it better. You could see it better on Breakout Prop, on the 1-minute Breakout Prop. We thought a bounce was coming right here. Thought you thought? Look at all that downward movement. So I'm glad we didn't get in. We would have been fighting the trend. Don't fight the trend. You see what I'm saying? Hootie hoo, what's the word? Clay's in the house. All right, yeah, let me catch up on the chat real quick. Yeah, don't try to catch a falling knife. And this helps you not catch the falling knife, basically. This strategy, where I'm talking about my scalping strategy here now, if anybody's new, anybody just joined the video, I should say the live stream, I'm going over my scalping strategy and the way that you avoid crazy volatility and news breaks and things you can't handle. If you do want to trade, you got to zoom all the way in and get to scalping. That's what you got to do. So let me go down here. Yeah, we don't want to catch a falling knife, which is why we were waiting. We still are waiting for a green dot, because right now I'm looking for a long entry, right? I have to work with the hypothetical that I'm short right now, because I'm waiting for the short to end so I can go long again, right? I got to wait. But I cannot enter until I see a green dot here on at least a 5-minute. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least. I need to see the momentum has slowing down. Is it starting to slow down? Sure, maybe it is, but not officially until I see a green dot. Now, what's the 1 minute doing? The 1 minute going to have hella dots. You can't really count on the 1 minute, but I want to look at it. The 1 minute does have a green dot. Okay, so now I'll have the chart on 3 minute. I'll sit here and watch the 3 minute, and I'm waiting. And I'm actually, again, I'm looking at it like this, honestly. Oops, like this, where I can see both. So I'm looking at breakout prop right here. I'm going to zoom in even more. This is the much they let me zoom in. They need to refresh. My internet's going kind of slow. All right. But I'm looking down here, and I'm waiting. I'm waiting for this down here, and I'm waiting here, okay? And if breakout prop does go slow on you, don't hesitate to refresh the page, okay? You guys refresh it. So, yeah, we're starting to see a little bit of upward movement here. I would anticipate we're going to see a green dot on the 3 minute eventually coming soon. But will it be one of these, or will it be the beginning of the new one? I don't know yet. And all I got to do is keep watching Market Cipher B to find out. It takes a while to turn around epic move all the way straight down. I'm not going to go straight back up. In a while, I mean, it might mean just minutes. I'm not saying hours, obviously. We're scalping here. But I'm not going to go in too early, because if I had done that here, I would have been wrecked already. You know what I'm saying? Just wait. Wait for that trend to go in your direction. There's no reason you should enter early. All right, let me catch back up on the chat. So you got a hodl bag of ZBCN already. Jumped in ZBCN. Okay. All right, we'll look up that one in a second here. If I don't have that on my list, I don't think. Treat it like you're in it, and you'll concentrate even more. Yeah, exactly. Treat the trade like you're in it. Look at it hardcore. Okay, we got the green dot now. Down here is a green dot on a 3 minute. So now what's next? The 5 minute. Let's see. Okay, the 5 minutes not here. So I'm going to keep it on the 5 minute. And we're going to see while looking at this. And here's the thing, too. You start learning the price action. When this candle's coming, I'm like, okay, like a 5 minute might come. A 5 minute did not come on this candle, though. That's pretty big. So it doesn't mean a 5 minute, is a candle that big, I should say, is necessarily going to turn this green yet. That doesn't necessarily mean that yet. But I'll say this. You'll probably get a second opportunity for an entry. Like, this is probably not going to go. This is probably not going to go straight back up. It might, but it's probably not going to go straight back up, right? It might do a little one of these, and then maybe you can enter after it if you think that, you know, the dots are turning. I still don't want to enter yet, though, because I'm paranoid. I don't want this to happen again. All right, let's see what happens. I need to at least see a 5 minute here. At least. You know what I mean? I just if I went in here, I would be gambling a little bit, and there's no reason to do that. It's just not. You know? I mean, it's a little bit of wonky ticker, that's for sure. Okay, now it looks like it's starting to do something. Let me see. I'm trying to read the chat, but the chat's over here and the screen's over here. Let's see. All right. Longer trades work on like this for sure. Let's see. Okay. Crypto Plumber in the house. What's popping, Crypto Plumber? Okay, the 1 minute will be the first to show. Yep, signs reversal. Yep, that's what we've been going over. So we were watching. I know you just joined late here, but we were watching the 1 minute here first. Then the 3 minute came here. And now we're waiting on the 5 minute. That's what we're looking for right there. You have to keep that tight stop if you're front running this. Yeah, and the tight stop, if you enter, I mean, you could enter. So it technically just how you do it on here is you could have your stop. Make this a little bit less money for the sake of this. So 5,000 is $1,300, right? And that's the thing. I got a $100,000 bankroll here, but just using $1,300 is not, you can make money off that. So you could do, we put on protection order. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. I'm not on. You can't see it that well. So 5,000 lots equals $1,300 worth of virtual, right? Looks like things are rolling. Looks like it's finally trying to do its thing here, right? See, maybe on the next pullback, I'll get in. Maybe. Let's see. I don't have a green dot yet. You can do a stop loss. I have a video on this too. You click this box. You don't have to set it on price. You can do a stop loss on projected loss. So like it's the percentage of this trade will be 2.5 or however many pips if you want also. And how much money? So it'd be $2.50. You see what I'm saying? So if I did like 50 pips, that would be let's see, a projected loss of $25. You get what I'm saying? Like that, you could, if I hit enter right here, you see how this moves, the price moves? It makes your stop loss be just this many less than whatever, $25 less than wherever you entered. Because when you're scalping, you don't necessarily have time to type in an exact price. You see what I'm saying? So you could enter a stop loss that says, okay, if it goes negative $25, right when I enter, then I'll get out. It'll automatically be set. I kind of want to show you guys this. Okay, so now we got a green dot on the 5 minute, right? Is this the pullback? Is this the one? Are we finally ready to reverse? Is enough enough? Let me see what Bitcoin is doing real quick. Is Bitcoin trying to reverse? Bitcoin's looking funky itself. I'm looking at Bitcoin. Usually, I'm not saying that virtual is exactly matching Bitcoin. It doesn't always match it. It depends on the ticker. This ticker definitely doesn't always match it. But I just want to see like if Bitcoin is doing the exact opposite of doing roughly the same. But right now, it's doing roughly the same. So like it's been doing the same, right? So okay, if it's been doing the same, if I see Bitcoin start to go up, I might go long virtual. You know what I'm saying? Like I might not wait. I already got, look, the green dot. Oh, you guys can't see this. This is why I have both screens up. The green dot in the 5 minute is there. It's not there in the 10 minute, but that's okay. We can maybe front run the 10 minute a little bit if we think that the reversal is coming. If we're confident that the 10 minute dot is coming, then we could do it. Now, granted, so choppy here. Technically, a short is the better play. This is the 1 hour chart, okay, you guys? So we're bearish, okay? Unfortunately, I don't really want to go long. I wanted to give you an example, but here's the thing. When I'm looking at this on the 1 hour, the beginning of the strategy starts with looking at the 1 hour, okay? This is rolling down on the 1 hour right now. So if I go long here, I am going against the larger trend, which can be risky, okay? The larger trend is pointing down. And even, let's see if that's true on Bitcoin as well. It's true on Bitcoin as well. That's a tough one, you guys. Real honestly, I wish we'd started this a half an hour early and I'd be looking for the short or whatever. An hour early, I would have been looking for the short. I don't really want to go long right now. That's not the safer play. The safer play is to trade with the 1 hour trend. And if that's pointing down, then that means I got to sell the next rip is what I'd really be waiting for. I know we just kind of jumped in just in real time. But this is what I'm, if I was going to scalp today, I'd be checking on this, throughout the day or whatever. I'm kind of checking it. Maybe I'm getting some breakfast or doing something else. And I'm waiting now for the next rip is really when I'd want to short. I wouldn't really want to go long here. This is what I'd be looking for. All right, I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm going to be looking for. I'll be looking for one of these to like here, maybe here, depending however high it wants to go. And then on the next one down is where I'd want to short because this 1 hour is showing me downward move. Even though it's choppy, this 1 hour is kind of showing me some downward movement. You could get in and get out right here, but I would be a little bit nervous because I want to. This is the longer term trend is looking more bearish than bullish right now. I'm not saying you can't trade it and get in and get out. You can. I'm just saying it's a little more risky. Because when is this going to end, right? Let's see what happens. So technically, we don't even have a green dot on the 10 minute yet. It's coming. Time's got to work its way through. We've got a minute and 22 seconds. I can see right here. It's hitting this support. That's clearly, can you guys see? This is clearly resistance. So people who don't know, sometimes we interchangeably use the word support and resistance, S and R, because what was once support turns into resistance, right? So like this was support on the way down. Now it's resistance perhaps on the way up, right? It might bounce off this area here. So let's see what happens. We still have no green dot yet showing down here. Again, you can front run the 10 minute a little bit. We could have this time. We would have been right until now. But what if this ends up being resistance and it comes back down and we don't get a 10 minute dot or something like that? Let's see. We got 36 seconds. The main thing is you don't want to lose money, so we don't want to fight it, which we wouldn't. We haven't fought it. If I was, for example, if I was still in my short right here, though, and there's no 10 minute dot, maybe you made money coming all the way down. Oops. Let's say you made money coming all the way down here. You might, you probably would have got out before now. Maybe it takes your profit. Maybe you're watching, you're waiting for that 10 minute dot to actually appear. But you would be cool because you already made money, all this. Even if you gave back that final one, you'd be like, okay, but what if this 10 minute dot never comes? Then you'd still be in your short. Okay, now look, Bitcoin's starting to turn back down. I'm watching the Bitcoin also. Bitcoin price. Looks like it went to here, man. I don't know. It's better to not trade if you're not sure. Because we're in that downward trend right now. Like if we were in an upward trend, probably would have jumped in it. If we got a green dot, we do have a green dot in the 10 minute now. Okay, we got the green dot in the 10 minute now. What a choppy day. It could do one of these down here. I don't like that this 1 hour is pointing down still. Clearly you could see. I said I'd want to go short more than I'd want to go long, but then I got to wait now. Now I got to wait until this cycle plays out. And that's what I'm saying, guys. It's kind of boring. Right? You're like, hurry up and wait. You know what I mean? But listen, this is what you got to do to make money. You don't want to lose. Wait for the high conviction entry. And I'm serious about this. I will sit here and wait because I'm like, I don't know, cuz. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if this is going to be the one that shoots me all the way back up. You know what I'm saying? Oops, wrong button. I don't know if this is going to be the one that shoots me all the way back up to the top. I don't buy that yet. I don't buy it. You see what I'm saying? It's already starting to turn back down. You see what I'm saying? I don't like this. You see what I'm saying? If I had gone long here, what would I do now? I'd be ready to get out, maybe. You know what I mean? I'd be nervous. That's why you want to trade with the longer trend, because what was going to give me this epic move up? I don't know. Is this now? So then now the next question is, okay, maybe this is was this the bump that I need? Yeah, it is like the military. Wait, is this the bump that I need to go short? Maybe. Right? Is that the bump I need to go short? Was this 10-minute green dot? It's kind of deep here. Let me show you on Market Cipher. The 10-minute green dot was kind of deep. I have a feeling it might end up being something like this for a little while, to be honest with you. Just gotta wait. It's like, man, I don't. See, this is what I was talking about, how the waves start crashing against each other too. You're like, I don't know. But I'll tell you what, I'm not gonna sit here. This is why I didn't go long. Look, 10-minute dot disappeared. 10-minute dot disappeared, and you can see it right here. Price coming back down again. You see why I didn't go long, fellas? You see why I didn't go long? I wasn't sure. You get what I'm saying? I wasn't sure. When I looked at it, I did a sanity check on the 1 hour. I was like, ooh, the 1 hour is pointing down. You feel me? This ain't it. This ain't the move. The move is to find my short entry now that I have this red dot on the 1 hour. That's the move. Where can I find my short entry? I wish this pumped high so then I could take the short. That's what I wish would happen. You see what I'm saying? Because this wasn't the hero move. You know what I'm saying? This didn't go all the way up. And as I'm sitting here watching this shit, like I'm just sticking to the strategy. I'm sticking to the formula, the system. I wanted it to, I was not convinced that this was going to happen, Now, was this the bottom? It might be. It might be. I just don't like that I'm fighting the 1 hour dot. I don't like that. Really, the play is to the downside. We're hoping if this, we got to go all the way back to the 1 minute. Okay, we got a red dot on the 1 minute. That doesn't really mean much. But, like, if that red dot on the 1 minute turned to a red dot on the 3 minute, return to a red dot on the 5 minute, and then, then maybe we'd be ready to go short again. We're stuck in no man's land right now. And why trade from this middle? You don't want to trade from the middle. Because then you get scared. I don't know. You don't know which direction you're going, and all you're doing is costing yourself fees. This is boring. You know what I'm saying? This is what you got to do. I'm analyzing every damn move this candle makes until I see a high conviction play. I wish it had happened like over here. Wish we'd started the live stream sooner. If I started the live stream a little bit sooner, I guess that would be about an hour. So that would have been a lot sooner. Then I would have watched this. Plus, also, look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still going down, bro. Like, Bitcoin is bearish. And we can glance at it on Market Cipher. Bitcoin is bearish as hell. This Bitcoin is bearish. Bitcoin had its bounce today, and now it wants to roll over, And virtual is coming back down again. See, I'm glad I didn't go long. Henry, why is it resistance now? So, resistance, okay, so let's take a look at it on Breakout Prop. So I don't even really need to draw lines. I will, though, for you. I mean, for me, I can just see it. So you see this, like, plateau, this flat area? When this came down, this was support. On the way down, it was support, and it kept bouncing off. This is just a 1 minute support. It ain't like the strongest thing in the world, but just 1 minute. It bounced off this, looked like price was ready for a bounce, and then it ended up going lower. So now that this has created a little support zone, it becomes resistance on the way back up. And that's approximately what happened. I mean, we're zooming all the way into the 1 minute, so you're not going to have it to the perfect tick usually on a 1 minute. But that's the general premise, and you could say, well, this time it got rejected off of, what used to be support. It got rejected off of resistance. and now it's coming back down. So that's what resistance means in this case. And again, I'm not mad we didn't go long. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather have waited and watched this than assume that this was the bottom because I was right. You know what I'm saying? The Market Cipher B didn't let me down. You know what I mean? I wanted to see some confirmation. I wanted to see, we're not trading with the trend. If I was going long, that wouldn't be, this is virtual. It wouldn't be with the trend because we got a red dot down here. It just wasn't worth it. So, yeah, really, I'm looking for a short now. I would like there to be a 10-minute red dot. I kind of wish it was up here bigger and we got a bigger move down, perhaps. But just because the dot's down here doesn't mean a red dot doesn't mean things won't go down from here. Price-wise, it definitely can. Definitely can, especially in a big old downward move like this. It's bigger. I just wish we had caught it at the top. I wish we had been up here. We just were late. So that's okay. Let me see if I'm saying the same as the crypto. Let's see. The crypto market moves more late at night when Asia wakes up. Yeah, sometimes. Andrew, the 1 hour is rolling over, looking enter a short on Sol. Okay, so you want to let's take a look at Sol real quick. Yeah. Sol looks overbought to me, right? Considering that a lot of other coins are coming down, Sol is holding up strong. But the question is, okay, but if Sol is strong, Sol is relatively bullish. Hard to short a bullish ticker. I've learned my lesson far too many times because what ends up happening is then when things reverse, even for a little bump on Bitcoin, then Sol will do one of these like way higher. You see? Oh, wait, Andrew, I got your name here from yesterday. Are you in this short still, Andrew, here? Weren't you shorting this yesterday? What was it? 133.019? Let me know if you were still in that short from yesterday. Let's see what else we got here. 6 a.m. down. I went short on the top of that bounce with a tight stop just to see. Oh, 6 a.m. down on virtual? You want to type on that? Okay. But keep in mind that at a 1 minute resistance isn't strong. Yeah, 1 minute resistance ain't really that strong. Definitely not. Unless it's high time frame. Yeah, exactly. The higher time frame, the more it's going to be. But Doug, you're so far you're green then. If you caught the top of this move here, you're green right now, Doug, if you caught this one. Right? So Doug's doing it. He went for the custo because he saw that one where you saw that 1 hour. Yeah, up 9% so far. See, and that's the thing. 9% on this little ass move. You know what I'm saying? Or are you using leverage? What are you trading that in? Phemex or in Breakout Prop, Doug? If he's in Breakout Prop, 9% means it moved 4.5% because there'd be 20x. Okay, 20x. Okay. So, yeah, he's up 9% already on 20x leverage. If you got a good entry, you caught the top of this virtuals move. The question for me, Doug, is when you get out of that thing? I think it's going to do some choppy ass shit, man. You know what I mean? Like you might as well take the 9%. I don't know. I'm not saying this exact moment, but let's just see. We've got to zoom in. We got to do some zooming. We got to do some zooming in because it's like, unfortunately, we're kind of at the end of a move. That's what I hate. We're not at the end of the 1 hour. We're at the beginning of the 1 hour. Let me go back to trading view. We're at the beginning of the 1 hour move down, but we're also in a choppy ass environment, overall, right? This is when it first got listed on Binance, and then it does this sideways chop. Look at this chop. So we have to zoom all the way in. I just can't. I don't want to go long in the face of this 1 hour red dot. You went down, which is okay. The problem is we're at the end of the move, right? We're trying to find a green dot here. Like, I couldn't short it there either, Doug. You got to be careful. Okay, let's see. Paid before bed, just how we like. Okay, took your profit. Oh, you just took it. Okay, 10%. Yeah, take the 10%, baby. Good. Because we're not in a position that this looks like it's going to tank. You just caught the super, super duper quick scalp. The 1 minute wave scalp, okay? This is what Doug caught right now, just right here. This 1 minute, okay? He's like, give me my money. I feel you. I was trying to stick to the strategy I'm doing, but my strategy calls for me to not make a play. And so far, that was the right play as far as the time frame I'm looking at, the 10 minute. You really, really did that on the 1 minute, so good job. Hey, that's all right. Just know that could have gone against you 10% also. Okay, just know that. You got to be prepared for that as well. But, hey, you caught the top, though. And you know why, too, maybe? One of the reasons is, again, you start learning the candle movement. When you see a big-ass candle like this, sometimes that's a sign of an overbought. Like I say big-ass, it ain't that big, but it's bigger than most of the other candles. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, okay, You know, bouncing off this little teeny tiny resistance here. Look, Bitcoin's, look at this. Bitcoin's dropping and now it's dropping again. You see, and let me see what we have here. Do we have a green? We no longer have a green dot on the 10-minute here. You feel me? Oh, let me go back. We no longer have a green dot on the 10-minute here in virtuals. You see what I'm saying? So the trend was still down. The trend had not turned up yet, you guys, which is why ultimately I like saying the 10-minute. So I missed the beginning of that move. Maybe a 10-minute will come back. Now it's not looking so bullish. You get what I'm saying? But ultimately, the real reason is because of the 1 hour. The 1 hour going down. So remember, this is the key. The higher the time frame, the heavier the wave. It's a heavier wave if it's a higher time frame. So coming down, that 1 hour takes a longer time to turn around than this little old 10-minute. You see what I'm saying? The 10-minute wanted to curve up, but there was still an avalanche of 1 hour coming down. 45-minute looks like cuts coming down. 30 minutes coming down. The 20 minutes coming down. That 10-minute got to fight through hella stuff before the price wants to do one of these. And I'm telling you, that is how my brain visualizes it. These heavier waves at the larger time frames are pushing down like an avalanche before the waves on the smaller time frames can come up. Eventually they roll over. The small ones lead to the bigger, which lead to the bigger, and eventually you get that move. But it takes a while if you got everything coming down on you right now. The 1 hour's coming down. The 2 hour has a red dot coming down. We should be looking for a short. You feel me? But it was a tough call. You know, because this was a green dot on the 10-minute, I couldn't justify doing a short there unless it was super fast like Doug. That was a little bit of a risk, but because this could kick around easy. Like I said earlier, I feel like it's going to do one of these kind of whatever was going to come over here. I don't think we're going to get a big move right now. I think it's going to do one of these for a little bit. You know, just a little chip chop. I mean, but this is how I look at it. When I'm scalping, I'm in there. I got to stare at it this whole time. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Blockchain Cowboy in the house. What's popping? We're down. So Blockchain Cowboy, anybody else who's new just joined, we're going over the Cassius Cuvée scalping strategy, which heavily leans on Market Cipher B, which is down here on the oscillator. We're basically trying to do this in real time. My thumbnail was talking about how to avoid these news, these news wrecks, these tariffs, and whatever any kind of news that comes and affects price all of a sudden. The way you beat it, if you're determined to trade, is to zoom in so that you're in it. Like, news ain't going to happen every 5 minutes, every hour. You get what I'm saying? Once a day type of situation, unless it's Jerome Powell speaking, then you get zigzag for like the whole time he's speaking. But you wait till that's over. Then you kind of go and see, and here's what I'm talking about. See, look, now price is coming back up again. You see what I'm saying? I knew it'd be kind of a sideways, trying to find a bottom. We got our green dot back. Maybe this is the time you go long. Again, I don't want to go long because I'm looking at a 1 hour red dot. Could this roll over? It could. Will it? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at a 2 hour red dot I'm fighting. I even got a 3 hour red dot I'm fighting. I wish I had gotten on this earlier. Every bigger dot is pointing down. I really would like to go short. I wish I could get one more pump. Oops. I was looking at the other dots on here. So we got the 1 hour's got a red dot, the 2 hours got a red dot, the 3 hours got a red dot, the 4 hours continuing from an older red dot. Everybody else has a red dot. So it's hard for me to justify trying to go long here. We got all this weight pressing down on his head. That would be like saying I'm calling. Look, we even got a red dot on 1 day. Literally everything has a red dot from 1 day down. Literally everything. I can't go long here. You get what I'm saying? So it seemed like it at first, right? It seemed like a good idea at first. I guess theoretically it's possible I could have happened to enter at the perfect spot right here. You know what I mean? But then and then I would have also had to know to get out right here. That's not the move I'm trying to make. That ain't it. I got to sit here and watch. I got to wait. What I'm waiting on in this particular case, if I was determined to short this ticker, the other option is to go find another damn ticker. You get what I'm saying? Kayla Love in the house. What's popping, Kayla? The other option is you find another ticker. I mean, ultimately, that's what it is. We just happen to be looking at this one. We're getting this chip chop right here, and finally a 10 minutes coming back. Maybe it'll go long again. It certainly could. What I really wish and what I might be waiting, might be okay. Let me go get some dinner. You feel me? I might go get some dinner. And this might come up like this. And now I'm looking to short here. You see what I'm saying? If this little move, maybe don't even go that high, right? Maybe don't even go that high. Maybe it just kind of comes up to here, Maybe a little bit higher. The point is, we want it to give it its bounce, do your thing, and then, we still got red dots coming down. I'm looking to short. I want to sell this next rip. Give me a rip to sell. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping really, okay, if we're just looking at the waves, I draw the lines and waves too. If I could get a 10-minute wave to give me one of these, that's really what I want. And I'll be shorting right here. That's what I really want. Give me the next 10-minute red dot, hopefully a good one too. I don't even care if I miss the price action on the way up from that. It might not even be that much of price action. You can get a big wave on a little price action or vice versa. It's not a positive correlation necessarily. Like, you see what I'm saying? You can't even tell. These are like little waves and you got big price action. You don't necessarily know how big the move will be based upon the size of the waves. That's why I don't give price predictions. But it would be nice if we caught a 10-minute, got our little upswing, and then entered. But look, it's bearish, y'all. This is why I didn't go long. It's tanking. You see this shit? It's tanking. And that's why also the best trade sometimes is no trade. Look at Bitcoin try to do something. This came all the way back down. But it's tanking now. You feel me? We were discussing going long here. We thought it was going to be a bounce. Yeah, I got a little bounce, but this was fighting the trend. The trend is to the downside right now. We were just late. But if I had been watching this ticker all day, you know what I'm saying, I would have entered it back here. I wasn't watching it all day. I just kind of pull it up now. We would have entered. We would have been watching this all day, and then we would have entered after this. Really, see, this is what I'm saying. I wish I could get a move like this. You see all this green right here, straight up? It would have been about like this, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wish I could get a move like that. Even bigger, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. Because this was starting to do it, but it just wasn't enough. Let's see. This was at 1539. Let me see what it looked like on here on 1539. That was this. Right? We get a couple big candles in a row like this. Make that 10-minute. My bad. We get a couple. This is 1539 right here. If you get a couple big moves like this, this bigger. This would be nice. This is the 10-minute. We'll put on even on the 5-minute. If we get a bigger move like this and then start to see a rollover, that would be nice. We got a little move. It wasn't big enough. It's too much at the bottom. It's too much at the bottom. If we could get a bigger one like this again, then I will go short. But I got to hurry up and wait. You know what I'm saying? I'm really hoping that I catch an extreme. Because if I had gone short right there, maybe now's the time. Maybe this was the scam wick, right? Look at this. Look at this. Maybe this was the scam wick. Maybe this was the final one. Maybe. But I don't want to go long. I don't want to fight the 1 hour. So I just can't. If I enter here, I am going against the strategy, which would be I'm supposed to be shorting because there's a 1 hour red dot. There's a 1 hour red dot right here. That's the strategy. I like to have both open. It's the 1 hour red dot down here. So that's it. That's how the strategy goes. Peace, Doug. Have a good evening, man. What time is it? 5:10. Okay, we've been on for an hour now. Yeah, I went into kind of deep though, man, on the scalping strategy this time. Reminder to everybody too. We have the contest. So right now, if you invite your friends, use your invite referral link from inside the Discord. It ends on Sunday. So invite as many people as you can. The person who gets the most invites gets a 1 hour one-on-one session. We're going to pull up the charts and do whatever you want on the charts with trading. But via Zoom, one-on-one, you got my undivided attention for at least an hour. At least 1 hour. And every time I tell someone an hour, I usually end up going over anyways, okay? I'm generous with my time when it comes to really trying to help people who want to learn. But that was it. But you see how long it takes? You got to sit here and watch it. You feel me? You got to. Otherwise, you might lose money. And we're not trying to lose. I'd rather waste my time than waste my time and money. Okay? And if the trend is to the downside, then I can't fight it. But that hunch, it's not even a hunch. That was the system. That was right. Because if I had entered here like we thought, and then this came back down, or let's say I wouldn't have caught the perfect bottom, you know what I mean? I would enter somewhere here. I would be red right now. Then I would have came back. I'd be wondering, is it going to go up again? Like, it looks like a bottom, But I don't know if this is the bottom. I feel like, and I said it too, man, it's probably going to look like this chop over here. This is probably what's about to happen. We're probably going to get a lot of chop. We finally got our 10-minute green dot, though, right? Finally, 10-minute green dot. Again, if this was a green dot here, let's say you see this green dot, if that was this one here, you see me? You feel me? Or even this one here, something. You got to show me something. I don't know yet. We'll see. This ticker moves fast. It's just that everything's trying to roll over against me. Everything's coming down right now. These momentum waves are heavy. All the big 1 hour, 2 hour. It's hard for me to believe. I'll put it this way. I know from experience that it takes a while. When I say a while, I mean hours for a 2 hour dot to appear. So for 2 hour to come back like this, that takes a while, right? Each one of these candles is 2 hours long. So that's why I said, okay, well, so you go get some food and you just kind of check on it. You know what I'm saying? We caught the end of the move. We caught the end of this first 10-minute wave down. Somebody better than me, somebody who was earlier than me came all the way down and caught this. You see this red dot here? They caught this whole move down. You feel me? We turned on the live stream. We was already past that. So that's what we're trying to wait on, is some sort of level of extreme. Looks like we're getting some consolidation down here. I just wish it was the opposite for the longer time frame here. You see what I'm saying? By that time, they were already looking at this wave rolling over on the 1 hour. That was their precursor. Shit, even a 2 hour. So it's kind of like we kind of caught the end of that move. So now I don't want to enter. I just don't. Rather be safe than sorry on that one. You feel me? And maybe Virtuals wasn't the right ticker, right? We spent all the time looking at that one. I probably could go through and look at other tickers, but it's a lot of sideways chop. I don't even like trading usually when it's sideways chop. Like, you got to scalp when it's sideways chop. You don't have a choice. Ondo, I am in Ondo in a long. I got in a while back down here on that last crazy dip. This one or something. I don't know where. I've been in it for a while. On my personal account. This is from before I even started the live stream. So that's at least 3 weeks ago. Oops. Generally bullish tickers. So here's the thing. So longer term thesis real quick is, what are the hot coins of this cycle, right? Who held up the best now that everything's sold off? Coins like Ondo, who else? Tron, things like this. Like, if SWE was holding up strong, it kind of shit the bed after a while. But if, let's say, there is some news, or all of a sudden no more turf war on tariffs and shit like that, something like, or some major crypto bill passes, or some fucking thing that gives me a real reason to be bullish, then I'm gonna go back to the bread and butter of the bullish altcoins. And I actually got into XRP is one of them. I got in XRP. Let's see, my average XRP is pretty cheap because it was so strong. Like, the long coins I'm in are Ondo. I'm always long Algorand, Ondo, and XRP. And Bitcoin. I was long Bitcoin. I took my profit on Bitcoin. But yeah, Bitcoin I got in at 75K. Because I'm like, those coins I feel like will outperform if, of the large caps when crypto comes back, when the bull market starts again. You get what I'm saying? Which could happen. The problem is I don't know that yet. I need some more confirmation. I mean, I got in when that crazy dip happened. So I'm loaded on those ones. But as far as this account, for my live stream account that started, I'm not in any positions right now for any swings. I came with the intention to scalp with you guys today if something came up, but for scalping, you gotta wait. You can't force it. It's a fool's errand to try to force scalping. You see what I'm saying? I would be red right now, right? Remember if I told you I got in here and I'd be hoping, I'd be guessing and end up going down more. Like, I was right to not get in. And that's how it'd be, because why? The 1 hour pointing down. If this had been the opposite case, where the 1 hour was pointing up, then I would have said, okay, let's do it. But it turns out it was the right move to not go in. Doug took his chances. He got in here. I guess he could have stayed in. He could have. He'd be fighting that 10-minute red dot. It was a green dot. That's a tough call. It is a tough call right there. Oh, that's Ondo. Tough call right here. You see what I'm saying? Like this, and look how that green dot disappeared now. You see how that works? Green dot disappeared. So it ain't. Now, if you've been shorting, you got out when the green dot first showed up, which would have been on this candle, you'd be all right. You know what I'm saying? You won your trade. You could have entered. Oh, and here's the other part of the strategy. If you wanted to continue that, theoretically, like the way the strategy works is, if that 10-minute green dot disappeared like it did, you would re-enter. You would do that. So theoretically, Doug, he re-entered. Well, he got a good start. He got a good top. But when that green dot disappeared again, because what happens is it'll appear and then disappear. Like it's not printed yet. So I go by when it flashes, not when it prints. It prints when it's at the end of the candle. Like when the candle closes is when it's printed. So I don't wait that long because you might have to wait a whole 10 minutes. So I'm waiting. I'm going when it flashes. If it had flashed green, I got out and I was still bearish and it flashed and it disappeared, I would get back in. And yeah, you would have lost a little bit of money. You would have lost a little, right? This would be on the short, right? I would have lost a little bit of money on the transaction fees, but better safe than sorry. I didn't lose all of this, and I would have got back in, and I'd be coming back down. Now, granted, if you had shorted from way up here, you would be so green right now. Maybe you say, look, I won the move. It's trying to do some sideways consolidation chop. I'm not going to fight it. I'm not going to get back in probably. I'd probably just sit there and wait. But, I'm looking. I like a little peak like this to try to get in. That's really what I was looking for, and this was not big enough. Yeah, see, it's going to kick around down here. I mean, that's it. You know what I'm saying? It's like when it comes to scalping, though, did I lose any money? Did I lose any money on this trade? I didn't because I waited. And that's how it is. You got to watch it. That's really how I scalp. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't get to enter, but I had to wait. I'm telling you, most of the time is waiting because I would have loved to catch the move up at the top here, but we got late. So now I would say, okay, I'm waiting to go long, but this ticker doesn't want to go long. So either I find a long ticker, a ticker that does want to go long. Let's see. I got to look at the 1 hours, really. Nobody does because everybody had the pump. Everyone wants to go short now. Now's not the long day. Now I'm waiting on a retrace and then re-enter the short. That's what I'm waiting on. Kalichi, what's popping? You joined it kind of late, my man, but it's okay. This one, I went over the whole scalping strategy. The whole thing. So, we really watched it. We pulled up Breakout Prop. I did not enter. I was going to enter, but it turned out to be the smart move not to enter because the 1 hour was against me. Oops. Let me go back to TradingView. The 1 hour was against me here. Let me go back to the right ticker. We were looking at virtual. This 1 hour here was against me. Let me erase some of these lines. I'll show you. There's a 1 hour dot right here. Oops. And it basically told me that it was bearish because it was red. And since this 1 hour dot was here, 10 minute, the 10 minute strategy, the 1 hour, 10 minute strategy, exactly. We went over it. I was going. You can go back and watch some of it because I was looking at a ticker like this, which was giving me the good volatility, but we were late to the stream. This would have been the perfect place to start it. The stream started about here, so I was saying, okay, well, let's just say we did get in and we're riding it down. Where exactly do we get out? And we watched the whole thing. We had to wait until we seen first a 1 minute, then a 3 minute, then a 5 minute. Then we're like, okay, that might be where you take profit, or you're waiting on a 10 minute. You know what I'm saying? That's, you take profit somewhere between a 5 and a 10 minute. I will say I want to see a 5 minute, and then what happens is that 10 minute dot came and disappeared. So you'd be back in the trade shorting right now, and that'd be the right play. But we discussed potentially going long before I had taken a second glance at the 1 hour, and I realized, because we were down here looking at this, and we were looking at it roll over, and all of a sudden you see a 3 minute green dot and a 5 minute green dot, like here or something, and we're like, look like it's going to bounce, and it did bounce, but then that 1 hour was still red, and that's why when you look down here, that's why I didn't go long, because I was like, the 1 hour is a red dot, even the 2 hour, even the 3, everything is pointing down. And these bigger waves, the main thing that you need to remember about the momentum waves is that the bigger the time frame, the heavier the wave. It's worth a significant amount more when it's between 1 hour and 2 hours than it is like 10 minutes. So if all these are pointing down, that's a lot of heavy momentum to the downside. I want to find a place to short, not a place to go long. You see what I'm saying? That's really what I would want. And what I was looking for is it would be nice, it's not doing it now, but it would be nice if basically this came up again, like there would be a bounce, and then I'd short the bounce, basically. If this would come, you got this flat. By the way, whenever you see these flat waves, price is going to go in the direction of the wave. I can't, even if there was a little dot here or something, I swear, man, these flat waves, you think it's going to roll like this, it never does, man. The flat waves, price always ends up going at like the way of the wave, like back down like this. I noticed it a lot on like the 12-hour will do that. 12-hour will do that sometimes. If this one ain't flat enough, it'll do that flat ass wave, and then let's see what happened here. It kind of did it here. It did it here. You see that wave got flat. It looked like you got a green dot here, and then boom, it came down. I don't trust these flat waves, man. And that's, true for even this time frame, right? It tried to turn. It turned green. It turned red again. And look at it, shit in the bed now. See, good thing I didn't go long. You see? Trade with the trend. You see what I'm saying? Trade with the trend. I saved myself by sticking to the system. I would have lost, you guys. I would have been down right now. Except I probably would have cut. I would have cut my losses, but I stuck with the system, and it saved me some money. The only reason I didn't chase it is because I don't like chasing. I didn't get back in. But look, whoever stayed in this 10-minute dot never turned. You see what I'm saying? I mean, it flashed. You would have got out. But if you were in that trade and you were already up, you could have got back in, and you would still keep going. And why? All of this true? Because the 1 hour red dot. You see what I'm saying? Don't fight the trend. Okay, Kalichi. Okay, when the VWAP and the waves are curving inwards, it will roll over. So the VWAP, he's talking about this. When you say inward, do you mean down? What do you mean inward? Curving down? Not sure what you mean by inward. Anyways, all I know is I saw a 1 hour red dot, and it spooked me from going long because right here we were talking about it. We're like, oh, we might go long. And I said, well, hold on a minute. Let me just double check real quick if we're trading with the trend. Because we looked at it so quick, I hadn't even looked at the 1 hour really. And I was like, ooh, you guys, I see this 1 hour red dot. I don't want to go long here. I want to go short. I want to find a short entry. And sure enough, this red dot was heavier than this 10-minute flashing green dot. And price ended up doing this. And this is what I'm talking about. When you're a slave to the system, you master the money. Because now that I followed the system, I didn't fuck around and go in when I shouldn't have gone in. I trusted the fact that this 1 hour red dot meant something, and it meant something heavier than the 10-minute green dot. And now I didn't try to go long in the face of all this shit going short. Okay? You feel me? Never crossing up to the zero line. Okay, inward, so meaning it gets close to the zero line and then kind of starts curving back. I'm trying to figure out what you mean on the VWAP. So let me zoom in on this real quick. Oops. So this is Market Cipher B. I just zoomed in. All you do, just so you know, to make this screen bigger, you just double click on it, and then you can double click on it and put it back. So down here I did Market Cipher B. I double clicked on it, and then that's how I got it bigger for anybody who's new to TradingView. So we're zooming in here. This is a little bit tricky because the VWAP is like, can't even hardly see it right there. And so when you're saying curving inward, are you mean in towards the zero line? So this is the zero, guys. The middle is the zero of the oscillator. This is the negative numbers down here and the positive numbers up here. Also, too, look at all this, man. These VWAPs pointing down. I mean, not VWAPs, the RSIs pointing downward. I have a video on the RSIs. I want to call that out, too. I have a video on the RSIs because I don't have a lot of videos on Market Cipher, but I definitely have one that explains the RSIs. It stands for Relative Strength Index, and people like to treat them as overbought or oversold, but in reality, they're more like a momentum indicator, to be honest with you. All this pointing down means momentum's coming down, And this is only a 10-minute, but let's see what it looks like on an hour. Pointing down. They're low. They're down. You know what I'm saying? Kind of making an in shape. Oh, I see in shape. So like this. You're talking about this, or maybe like this you're talking about here? In. Anyways, what we're going to do is wrap it up here pretty soon. I wish, if I had started this stream an hour sooner, I probably would have gotten that virtual short. Be killing it right now. That's all right. Never be mad about the trade you didn't get. I would have been more mad if I had entered this trade and started losing money right here in front of y'all just to try to enter a trade for the sake of entering a trade, and then I didn't stick to the strategy. That would have pissed me off a lot more, Because look at this. Look at this. It tried to do this pump right here. Seemed like the momentum's going to go to the upside, and I was like, you guys, I'm not so sure that that's going to run up. And sure enough, all the way back down again. Stick to the system. Look, we got a 5-minute red dot again. I told you can still get a big move if it comes down here. The 10-minute didn't have to turn because the 10-minute. So the fact that there was a 10-minute green dot and then it disappeared, it's basically the same as like saying it turned red. It was just within the same 10 minutes. So it flashed red. It was green for, I don't know, a few minutes of the 10 minutes, and then it turned back. It disappeared again, which is like the same as it reverts back to the last one. Let me go back. Sorry. Down here, this is a 10-minute wave on Market Cipher B, okay? It was red. Somewhere about here on this green candle, it turned green. But then it came back down. Actually, oh, no, I remember what happened. We didn't get a green dot until the following candle. Remember, it counted down. It was like a minute left, and it was a minute, and it was 22 seconds. It turned green as soon as this candle closed, but this candle didn't get the green dot. This candle did. But oops, all of a sudden, price action started going down, and even though this candle opened with a green dot, it ended up disappearing. And that would have been when you could have re-entered your short, basically, and that would have worked, because that green dot disappearing is like the same as saying, like, you would have got out when you seen it, let's say, when it first appeared, right, if you didn't get out early. But then as soon as it disappeared, that's like saying a red dot just reappeared and you could enter it because it reverts back to this red dot, basically. This tells me that, technically speaking, this wave is bearish, meaning it's pointing down. You hear that, Henry? It's bearish when it's pointing down. No, So I would not say that virtual is necessarily my short going to. What I was yes, I have a short buy. I would have a short bias on it, but it was the reason why I pulled it up. And that's a good question. Is because I saw this choppiness. So originally, when I first started the stream, I had it on this right here, and I had the split screen. I was like, left is Bitcoin and the right is virtuals. I said, which one do you think would be a better thing to do the scalping strategy on? And to me, it's obvious. I would want to do it on the one that was giving me this volatility up and down, up and down, up and down. Whereas Bitcoin, it was mostly one direction. You have that crazy sell-off, and then there's a lot of scrunched action here. I want to catch these big moves up and down if I can. You see what I'm saying? But I still want to trade with that trend when it's identified. So, believe it or not, that was zoomed in or zoomed out quite a bit, because this is 10 in the morning here, and where we at 5 or 6 o'clock right now. See, it's just finally start to come back. We'll probably finally get a green dot. Let's see. Do we have it on the 5-minute yet? We just got a green dot on the 5-minute. Maybe enough's enough. Maybe it's going to do its thing. I just don't. A lot would have to roll over to turn all of this green again. It would take a while. That's looking like let me come back here. This is looking like a little bit of a scam wick here on the 1 hour. Maybe that is the bottom now. Finally, someone would have to turn this around. Maybe this is the one. Let's see. We still don't have a green dot on the 10-minute yet. Is this the one where we go long? My point is this: even if it were the one that was going to turn over the 1 hour wave and the 2 hour wave and then the 3 hour, all the waves, it would take a while for it to do that. You see what I'm saying? It would take a while. So even if I thought this was the bottom, it might be, I would be guessing. And that's like catching a falling knife is what it's called. I'm not trying to do that this early. I'd rather be late than early. Because what might happen, especially with scam wicks, especially on this ticker, what might happen is you could do one more of these and then come. But even then, it wouldn't come straight like that. There's just too much power coming down here in this 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour. I'm looking right down here. Every single one of these has a red dot. 5 hour, 6 hour, 8 hour, 12 hour. The daily. Literally a red dot on everything all the way down. Let's see. 45 minutes has a red dot. 30 minutes has a red dot. 24 minutes. Like, eventually somebody's going to find a bottom? But we're literally looking at a red dot on every single time frame from 1 day all the way down to 5 minutes. There's no green dots higher than the 5-minute all the way up to the daily. I can't go long there, guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't. How can I in good conscience go long there? If I did, it would have to be because I had some sort of strong conviction that the tides are going to turn and, this is the one. I'd be calling this the bottom. But the reality is usually the bottom gives you one more opportunity to enter the bottom. So if I thought that this was going to be the bottom, I could enter it here. Maybe that was this. Maybe it is this. I just find it hard to believe because back here, what time was this? 9:40 a.m. What was this dot doing at 9:40 a.m.? See, at 9:40 a.m., we had a green dot on the 1 hour. You see what I'm saying? Is this starting to make some sense to you guys? At 9:45, we had a green dot on the 1 hour. Even though there was some crazy price action, it was still green. So that allows me to catch this green dot going long. This time, we ain't got that. We got a red dot. So I'm not banking that this 1 hour is going to turn green. In the meantime, I hope my money the whole time I'm keeping tight butt cheeks, hoping that it doesn't break to the downside. I'm not doing that. I'd rather wait before I go long. This is going to do some kind of chop. Whatever happens, it ain't going to look like this. This candle and this candle is not happening right here. I doubt it. I doubt it because I got the 2 hour. I got a whole lot of shit before that happens, right? In order for a 2 hour to have a green out, you got to have some price action movement first. Could it? Yes, it could. I'm not going to say it's impossible. I'm just saying I don't want to gamble on it. Not right here, right now. My feeling is we'll get a little bit more of these, maybe even one of these, little inverse head and shoulders, and then you start to see something. If this even wants to happen at all. If it even wants to happen at all, I'm not convinced. Finally, though, we're catching a green dot down here. This wave is finally, possibly, back to where we were going to enter when we were here, right? Just like this wasn't the bottom, even though we thought it was the bottom. This was the bottom. It revisited that. So maybe this is the one that's going to be finally the one. But even so, I doubt it goes straight back up. It would still be some sort of a little bit of a pull down to here. Something, you know what I'm saying? Like, it'd probably still be a little bit of this. I doubt it just goes straight like this. See, I'm looking at it and I'm looking at the candles themselves on the 1 minute. Oh, nice. Congratulations, Calucci. Passed his breakout prop evaluation yesterday. So now trade smart, man. You did a good job passing the evaluation. Congratulations. Took advantage of some of that volatility, I guess. And now that you got a funded account, treat it's real money. You got $100,000. I don't know how big of an account you have, but, that money, now that you're funded. So breakout prop is for anybody who's just joining. Breakout prop is where you can get $100,000 for $800. So in a nutshell, you purchase the evaluation. Right on. Use your code. Right on. Congratulations, brother. You purchase the evaluation for I always use the $800 ones. I'm going to do it. I haven't had dinner in a while because I still have my account. $800 one though. You can use this discount code I have at the top. I'm an affiliate with Breakout Prop. And then they give you a $100,000 account. But first, it's not real money. You have to pass the evaluation. But you don't lose any more money. You're not risking any more of your own money. It's only what you paid for the evaluation. And once you paid it, that $800 is gone. So now you've got a $100,000 account. You got to make 10% before you lose 6% or before you lose 4% in a single day. So what he did is he got that 10% before the two downside risks happened to him. And now he's got a $100,000 funded account. And what it means is every time he makes profit over $100,000 and he closes out, you got to close out your position, he can withdraw the profit every day. He can make $500, withdraw it. $1,000, withdraw it. $500, withdraw it. $10,000, withdraw it. You don't have to wait the end of the month. You don't have to do, a lot of prop firms have weird rules and stuff like that. Breakout Prop, you can get your money. You can request a withdrawal today, on-demand withdrawals. So, now he's got $100,000. It's an unlimited to the upside, but your downside risk, well, he doesn't lose anything additional other than the evaluation he paid. So that's the benefit of Breakout Prop. If you don't have exactly enough money to purchase a whole Breakout Prop, they have smaller amounts, but you might want to use Phemex. And on Phemex, you can use leverage to kind of get a little more bang for your buck. Same deal. Phemex has a lot more coins than Breakout Prop. They have a lot more tickers than Breakout Prop. So, if you want to find some of the obscure ones and shit that aren't on Breakout Prop, you'll probably find them on Phemex. So Phemex is a little bit different. They're not fronting you that money like that. It's all your money, but you can use leverage to make it bigger. Doug 6am had just shorted he had shorted this breakout. He had shorted virtual when we were on here right at the time. Did a good job. He caught it right here. He made a quick 10% and he was out. He said, give me my money. You feel me? Had a few attempts, but you got it. Right on, man. Congratulations. And put the wins or whatever in the Discord. So also remember, contest in the Discord. Before I sign off here, my admin wants to remind you guys, contest in the Discord, okay? All you got to do is get your invite link, and then you share it with as many people as possible. Tell them how to join the Discord. But whoever has the most invites at the end of the week, which is Sunday, we're going to give you a free 1 hour with me, Zoom, one-on-one. We'll go over any strategy you want, whether you're advanced, not advanced, whatever level you're at, I'll meet you there. And then, one-on-one Zoom, we talk about whatever you want. So that's how I want to do that because everybody's at a different level. But invite your friends. Please like the video. After the video's over, you can make a comment. I appreciate that in the video itself. I'll respond to it. Share it if you can, social media, whatever the case may be. Obviously, this episode Number 19 is my 19th live stream. So shout out to everybody who's been rocking with me this whole time. And, oh, and we also have a poll in the chat. Let's see the poll real quick. Lower. So, okay, in 24 hours, will Bitcoin price be higher or lower? If you haven't voted yet, jump in it now. 68% of the people said lower. 68% said lower. So, I kind of am a little bit bearish too right now, which is why I don't have any longs in. I just feel like we're chopping around, which is why I was looking at scalping strategy today. And look at virtual. It's doing the chop that I predicted. I said it. I was like, man, I'm not feeling it. It's doing the chop, but like a little too choppy, not the big chop. It's doing the little chop now, and you can't do the scalping on a little chop. You see this little from here. Let me go back here. From here, this little chop to here. Like nobody's making any money. You're trying to get in and out, or you're losing on fees, or you're just not making any. That's why I was like, I just don't see the play. For me, since this is bearish, the play is I have to be patient. Wait for a little more uptick. It's not even price, to be honest with you. It's this. It's down here. I would like to see the 10-minute wave come up to here, and then when it starts to roll over again, that's when I'll go short. That would be the play for me right now. And so price might go like this. Price might go like this. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what price is going to do, but price will eventually roll back over and be headed back down again. It would be my thesis on that. That's what I'm looking for, and that's where I want to enter the short. I do have a short bias on it right now, based upon the 1 hour red dot and even the higher time frames after that. And then if you just zoom all the way out, right? Let's look at the daily real quick. Again, even Bitcoin kind of looks like this. Things came up hella fat. Like we caught this extreme bottom, right? Remember we went long here. Then we caught an extreme top here, not perfectly, but I played it in Jasmy. And Ethereum, I think it was, and Bitcoin. I took my profit on the way up, and now it's doing this in-between shit. It's hard to know. Let me put it on Bitcoin. It's hard to know where does it break. Is it break to the upside or downside? I don't know. That's why we got 2/3, 68% to 32%. 2/3 say down. I could see down because originally, remember, I said the 8-hour dot is what confirms kind of a rollover. Now, granted, Bitcoin is a bullish ticker this cycle. So even though it got its 2 red dots, it did do its retracement exactly as I predicted when it first started here. It's like it's going to have a retracement, which it did. Now it came back down and it's doing this chop shit. It could do that chop shit for a while. Now, what was this? This is what I want to see. What the hell was this? I drew this trend line a long time ago. And it's just kissing off of it still. You know what I'm saying? I drew that I don't know where I drew that. Somewhere over here I probably drew it and extended it, of course. And it's kissing it. So maybe this chop will end about here. That's a maybe. Like I said, I have to be careful when I draw trend lines. It's only 20% of the shit is all that matters up here. What happens is you start drawing these trend lines and then your eyes start watching up here and you start forgetting about down here. And that's my beef with the price chart. It's not that it's dead wrong or all these lines and indicators and fibs and support and resistance and EMAs and all that other shit. It's not that they're wrong. It's just that you start looking at all of those and start ignoring what's going on down here. And what's going on down here is always more important for me as far as I'm concerned. And I got to look at all the time frames, and I got to take them into consideration. So I don't give price predictions. What I do is I'll tell you when the momentum is beginning or ending, so that way we can get out of a trade or get into a trade for that matter. So that's it for today. Really, I know I kind of dove deep on it, a little bit wonky here. I appreciate everybody who stayed to the end. I definitely want to go over some more things for the people who join late. But one more thing, too. In the Discord, for the new folks, there is now a chapter called Crypto Basics. So this chapter here, I put in some of the stuff here, like just, some basic terminology, all-time high, Market Cipher B, things that we will commonly reference in the general chat so you can keep up what we're talking about here. We haven't really talked about fair value gaps, but DCA, dollar cost average, price action, support resistance, just to familiarize yourself with the folks who are brand new. And I appreciate everybody who contributed to that. Give me an idea. I think was it you blockchain? No, it was Andrew who put some more stuff. I could put it in there, definitions and stuff like that, just to kind of help folks. But that's it. No rap today. I was experimenting with the super chat, where if I got 5 super chats, I'll bust a rap. But maybe we'll adjust that tomorrow. But man, yeah, save time tomorrow, man. I'm gonna do 4 o'clock. We're having a good week so far. I won my trade early in the week, and you know what? I haven't entered another trade. That's totally fine. Why? All this sideways chop, I don't know. You see? I'm going to tell you I don't know. You want the outro song? We'll do the outro song. Let's see. What song do I want to do on the outro song? I did Market Cipher on the way in. I had to show that music video. Let's see. Let me go back here. What do we got? I know. What outro would I know? Can you guys hear that?
I ain't got no limits that are gonna save me. I fly above the ceiling cause my soul made me. I'm trying not to spill it, but the flow's waving. I know. And I know that trees don't grow to the sky.
I know, baby.
But I know the future will make it.
I'm watching these charts like a hawk. I'm in the private Discord. Always giving game all day. So appreciate y'all. Thanks for joining. Crypto Plumber, peace out. Remember the contest, share with your friends, like the video, make a comment at the end. Right on, let's go.
ABTC, that's who I stand with. I've been seeing green since the moment it landed. And I know some people gon' call it a trend. But I know
as long as they printing it, ain't gonna end.
I'm doing my thing.
Oh, Riley Lewis jumped in right at the end. What do you want to know? TN algo.
You know what I mean? The current situation ain't tame, but you can't counteract it with the same anger. This ETF addressed the one main danger. This is the kind of thing that's a game changer. I'm so gracious, my locations.
I'll pull up algo for you one time. Hold on a second.
I started from the bottom and I made it sky high, but I still got friends in low places. Oh baby girl, I just wanna come and save this world. I wanna more than dream about being free. You gotta put our money in the ES.
I'm always long algo.
I know.
That's the T on algo.
Put a little in, get a million.
That's my long-term DCA, baby. Also, I do have leverage position open in my private.
Turn all the way up, get the crowd hype.
Here's what I'm
back something that'll sound right.
I'm at 1666 is my average for my leverage trade on algo. Algo held up well. Okay, a lot of stuff came up here. Came back down.
And ESG struggles the competitors' problem. I know. They told me to.
Okay, let's take a look at algo. Oh, this is the 8 hour.
I know. At this point, it ain't no disguise.
Something like this. Okay, so here's that bottom. Right, it's April 8th. Boom, came up. Algo's kind of strong, relatively speaking, right? I'm just looking at this coming up like this. A lot of coins, some of the coins did one of these. You know what I'm saying? They came back down. You know, if you compare it to like Ethereum or something. Let's see, I got algo farther down the list. I know what I'm doing. You see, look at Ethereum. Ethereum did some of these back on down again. You see, way back down here. And
shout out Devin.
algo is actually holding up pretty strong. Solana's holding up strong too.
You see me traveling. Damn it, Jim. This thesis is unraveling.
I mean, look, algo, I'm not gonna lie, algo fell off the cliff here a little bit. Tuesday, a lot of stuff did, but it's not. It's still kind of holding up strong.
I've been had a plan
sideways
for
action
this
like
is
crazy.
what you gonna do. Don't chase what's in front of you. Lean on back and relax.
So let me see the 8 hour. I want to see the 8 hour dots.
Now you know that's just my
so it's got the same dots as Bitcoin, which is the two red dots here, meaning, you know, to me that's usually a sign of a reversal to the downside. However, as I look at this wave here, it's trying to find support. You know, it's trying to down here, it's trying to find support in this wave. Let me see real quick. Do we have any green dots? We do. So Algorand has a 5 hour green dot. It turned red again, but it was a sign of momentum slowing down. I know, right? Everybody joining right at the end here. Must be a time zone change or something. What's poppin'? I'm still in the game, so it's all good, all set. And Riley. So I'm looking at Algo trying to form a bottom right here, man. I hope it does. I'm always long Algo. I never short.
You should follow on the gram so you can see.
Yeah, I mean that's it. If this can find a bottom, listen. Most of the coins trade with Bitcoin. I always say it a lot.
Right beside me. You should spend a day with.
I always say, you know, Bitcoin's like the sun, and the other coins are like the planets, right? You know, going around it, and the smaller the coin, the farther away it is, it starts becoming an asteroid or something. You know what I mean? And so, like, first I'm looking at the direction that Bitcoin's going around the Milky Way, and it's going up and finding a bottom. That's Bitcoin. And honestly, Algo chart looks pretty similar to it. I'm not mad at that because Bitcoin's been bullish this cycle. You feel me? So now I'm looking at, okay, maybe it's finding a bottom. If we can get a bottom here, right? This is not a deep situation yet here, right? This is what, the 6 hour. If we can find some kind of bottom here, we might kick around for a while, you know. Which way is it going to break, up or down? I don't know yet. And that's my whole point, is when I don't know, I want to zoom in and look at scalping opportunities while I wait, or just sometimes the best trade is no trade, right? Or if you think we're going to be the problem is a lot of stuff is being driven off news kind of events, which is what the thumbnail was about, right? Like tariff news or whatever news might come and pump the markets. You got to get in, and I went over my whole entire scalping strategy. You guys who joined late, I would go back and watch. I really did a deep dive on the scalping strategy today, and we were looking at virtuals on, I won't go over the whole thing now, but we were watching this as if I was trading it, okay? Because I was going to trade it, but I was late. At first, I was looking for a long entry on the way down here, and before I entered here, I was looking at this. I went over to here on TradingView, and I did my sanity check to check out the 1 hour. And on the 1 hour, I seen this epic red dot, and I was like, nah, guys, I don't know. I don't think we can do that. And it turned out to be the right move, because what ended up happening is, sure, you got a little pump here, but then that bearish wave, these big wave, the bigger the time frame, the heavier the wave. Excuse me, down here. On Market Cipher B, the bigger the time frame, the heavier the momentum wave is. So, like, yeah, my little 10-minute wanted to finally curve over, but, like, the 1 hour, the 2 hour, the 3, every single wave is pointing down. And when that's happening, that's a lot of heavy weight coming down. That 10-minute, it got flat, and you see it got squished. You see right here how it got squished? What I was saying is I was hoping this would come up, and then I would catch another short right here. That's what that circle was. That was there. I was hoping that I would catch another circle. I mean, I would catch another short. That would be my entry. So I was like, so in the meantime, we kind of got to wait for a bounce that may never come. But, like, it's okay not to trade. The one thing you don't want to do is enter trade and lose. You see what I'm saying? So for me right now, it's a no trade, because I don't want to lose. And it was the right move, because if I had gone long here, look what happened, you know? And I mean, I would have gotten out, because my strategy tells me that I would have to get out if the green dot disappeared, which it did. There was a green dot here on this candle here, and then it disappeared, in which case, if you were already short, you could have re-entered. Or if you were going to go long here, you would have had to get right out, in which case you would have saved yourself some money from dropping all the way back down. Oh, sorry. I forgot. When I'm trading, I'm looking at it like this, to be honest with you guys. I'm looking at both charts. I got Market Cipher down here, and I got the other one up here. So that's what I was looking at. And I'm glad I didn't do it, because I would have lost live on the stream. But what saved me was sticking to the strategy. That's why I say you slave to the system, you master the money. I was like, ooh, I don't want to fight this 1 hour red dot. The play is wait for the next red dot on the 10 minutes to enter. That's the strategy. The strategy is, okay, now that we got the trend on our side, obviously, right? Now on the next 10 minute, because it would have been great to catch this one, of course, but now that I joined here, what I was hoping for is that this would kind of come up like this, and then I'll find an entry on the next red dot 10 minute, and then we'll ride that puppy down. That's the play. But that literally might have happened for an hour or 2 hours. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we are. That's what we got today, y'all. And just a reminder for those who just joined, we're doing an invite. All set to, you should know about this. We're doing an invite contest. You can get your invite code from inside the Discord, and then follow the instructions that are in the announcement. Pretty easy. Share it everywhere. Tell your friends how they can join the Discord for free for 1 year by using my Phemex referral link. And then whoever has the most invites by the end of the week, which would be Sunday, then you get to win the prize. And the prize is 1 hour one-on-one Zoom with me, at least an hour. I usually go over on time like that. I'm looking at whatever strategy you got going on. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner. It doesn't matter if you want to do some advanced stuff. I've tried so many things in this game. Like, whatever strategy you're trying to do, I probably have some kind of opinion on it. You feel me? So make sure you share, and please spread the word, like the video, subscribe, all that stuff. I appreciate y'all. I got to run now. Oh, we had the poll up here too one more time now that we got even more people saying going lower. See ya. It's kind of bearish right now, is sentiment. It's hard for me to go long right here. It really is. But I don't know yet. We're going to see which way it breaks. So that's okay. That's okay. Sometimes the best trade is no trade. I currently do not have any open trades in my the account that I started since I started live streaming 3 weeks ago. Today is my 19th live stream, so appreciate everybody's been rocking with me. And we're on the third Wednesday, whatever day it is. But yeah, no open trades right now. You know, I hit this one too. That's what we started. We started the show with going over the Jasmine. I hit this trade. Everything I said about it turned out to be right. You know, all my hunch and my experience as far as knowing how shitcoins work, it dropped. Getting out yesterday turned out to be the right move. Oop, put it right here. Getting out yesterday turned out to be a right move. I got out right here where this line was and that green. And this blue line still never hit. That was my original take profit, but I said at the beginning that I would be prepared to take profit early. That was my exit strategy. This was my target, but I knew it was aggressive. If I was one of those people who stuck to the price chart and said, well, this is where support is right here, you should take target. Nah, bruh. I'll be right now just holding tight butt cheeks for 24 hours for no reason. You feel me? Give me my money. Give me my money. And so far, I'm happy about taking my profit. Took profit at the green line. It wasn't the absolute bottom. That's okay. Could it go lower? It might. It could do that the next hour. I don't know. But I know it hasn't. And so this would have been dead money for a day. I'm okay. I held that trade since Saturday. Sick of looking at it. And I let everybody in the chat vote. That's why you guys got to jump in early. If I'm in an open trade, maybe it's crazy. Maybe it's not crazy. But I might start letting the group vote on what I do. I'll say take a vote, take profit, or stay in it. Or I might say, should I go long or go short? I'm going to start doing some funny contests. I might do it in Breakout Prop with some big money, too, on the line and be like, are we going long? Or maybe I'll pick 3 tickers. You tell me what to trade. I want to have some fun interactive games with it. And then I will give you my analysis when I do it or before I do it, and then have you do option A or B. And we'll see. This time I asked and it was unanimous. Everyone said take profit. I'm happy with it. It worked. It worked. So anyways, that's it for today, peoples. And I will talk to you tomorrow, same time, 4 p.m. Let's go. Peace, y'all. I'm like a SPAC. What the hell's that?
Twitter put me up on game, well, at least most of it. Then after Nikolai merger hit, it was over with. I follow Dr. Spack and Spack Watch, yeah, I see ya.